Welcome back, everybody. We're breaking down the Champions League on Tuesday, October 27th, 2020. We've got our three best plays for you. Let's jump into the picks. First one's going to be Shaktar Donetsk against Inter Milan, over 2.5 goals, minus 188, 1.53. There's no reason to think we won't have goals in this one, as evidenced by these two teams' contests in last season's Europa League. Now, a lot of the goals came in the end of that one for Inter Milan. Inter Milan won that 5-0. But if you watch that game, Shakhtar had a ton of chances on their own that they just weren't able to put away. Eastern European teams usually pretty darn tough to beat at home. That is also evidenced last weekend by Real Madrid straight up losing to them, and it looked like that was going to be a lot worse, as Real Madrid did trail in that game 3-0. Real Madrid did come back to make it 3-2. It wasn't enough in the end. They made it a little bit more respectable, but Shakhtar got all 3 points in that game, and that probably wouldn't have happened if they were playing in Madrid. So, despite my expectations that Shakhtar will be tough here, still do not think they'll be able to shut down Inter's high-powered offense. I like that Lautaro Martinez guy on Inter Milan. He's really good. Lukaku. Still got Eriksen. I mean, they got Vidal now. Just a stacked team. I said it last week. Do like this Inter Milan team quite a bit going forward. A little bit of a hiccup against Gladbach last match day. I'm not too worried about that because I did watch that game and Inter Milan was significantly better for probably 80 of the 90 minutes. So I do expect Inter to score here, and Donetsk being at home, I think they can definitely get on the board. Inter Milan's defense has not been absolutely stellar either. So over 2.5 goals, minus 188. That's where we're going here. My correct score prediction: 3-2 for Inter Milan. That can be had for plus 1,800. On to the second pick. Gladbach, Real Madrid, over 2.5 goals, and both teams to score at minus 138, 1.72. Real Madrid defense looks terrible. If they conceded against Cadiz, they will probably concede against Gladbach, especially once again being on the road. You people will point to, hey, 3-1 win last weekend against Barcelona. Real Madrid's really getting their stuff together. Maybe, but probably not. Barcelona, after all this messy drama, did anybody expect them to be good this year? Nope. So I'm not considering that as this sign that Real Madrid is going to be absolutely fantastic out of the blue. Still think Real Madrid have real problems, and Borussia Monchengladbach probably has enough going forward to exploit a lot of that. I mean, Borussia Monchengladbach, their defense is not super fantastic. Definitely see Real Madrid scoring. Gladbach is, when you're betting over 2.5 goals and both teams to score in the same bet, you're usually backing the underdog. You like the underdog a little bit more than the market suggests. I'm already assuming Real Madrid is going to score, but I also think Gladbach can get on the board too. Over 2.5 goals by itself is about 1.5 or minus 200. I think just adding the both teams to score to get that to minus 138 or 1.72 is actually pretty decent. Gladbach, 9 goals in their last 4 competitive matches. Put up some three-goal performances. Like I said, they've looked decent, especially against Cologne, who does like to shut people down at times. That was a good performance from them. And this is the biggest game in Gladbach in a really long time, and these guys should come out absolutely firing. Gladbach will probably be playing a high line, and Real Madrid will have plenty of opportunities to catch them on the break, but I also think Gladbach gets the ball in the back of the net too. My score prediction here, 2-2 draw at plus 1,100. On to the third pick. Porto to win, minus 167, 1.6. FC Porto looking pretty solid thus far this season. And they lost to Manchester City in the first match day, 3-1, but they looked pretty darn good at points of that game. And definitely had Manchester City on the ropes for more significant parts of that game than you'd probably think. So I took a lot of positives from that. Olympiakos, usually much better at home than on the road. This is a lot of travel going from Greece to Portugal. This is not Greece to Italy. I guess, at least in terms of Europe. It's about as far as you can go, right? So that's pretty rough. I don't expect the best version of Olympiakos here. I definitely like betting on Olympiakos at home, but not in this spot. Porto's 1-0 win over Gil Vicente might seem worrying. First looked at it, I was kind of scratching my head as well. But when you looked at the starting 11 that they started for that game, was not the number one squad at all. So they were definitely resting some guys because they know how important this game coming up for them is. So I think they're going to get a pretty easy victory here. My correct score prediction would be 2-0 for Porto at plus 650. Follow us on social media, on the House Picks, on Instagram, on the House Pick 1, on Twitter. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.